The high school game of the week is on WRVS-FM and HD1 Elizabeth City.
We've waited 18 days for the biggest rematch in NENC sports, and right now it's about that time as we bring you tonight's varsity boys basketball contest between the Panthers of Washington County and the Aces of John A. Holmes. Hello, everybody. Clay Mercer here with Jarvis Riddick, and we are ready for a matchup between two of the top teams in the entire state 1A rankings. And Jarvis, this is the matchup we've been waiting. We've been anticipating this for days and days, for weeks, and now it is here for Clemens County High School. We got a packed house, and these teams are ready to bring it on this court.
Yeah, we talked about this for every day. I'm just ready for these two juggernauts to throw down already. Looks like they're about to start.
Yes, the crowd is packed. It is a capacity crowd here for Clemens County High School. They're getting ready to go over the starting lineup, but before we get to that, let's talk about the Aces. 19-1 overall, 5-1 in the Albemarle Athletic Conference, the number 2 team in the conference, and the reason they're number 2 is because they lost to the number 1 team in the conference. The Panthers come in undefeated, 16-0, 6-0 in the conference, and they are the number 1 ranked team in the state of North Carolina in the 1A ranking. So there's going to be a lot of talent on this floor tonight. Let's go over the starting lineups. First for the home-standing Aces. Number 11, Joelle Colston. Number 12, Majanta Stanley. Number 15, Bobby Wilson. Number 23, Keenan Downing. And number 33, Tyree Capehart. For the Panthers, number 1, DeAndre Downing. Number 2, Quamel Chesson. Number 3, Sadez Norman. Number 5, Omar Harris. And number 33, Alicio Verona. Now, you talk about the Panthers, the guy you got to keep an eye on is Sadez Norman. He's the leading scorer of this team. And in the contest back on January 17th, 32 points, 10 rebounds. He was knocking down every shot in the second half. And he's a major reason why the Panthers walked out of there with a win.
Yeah, he was a virtuoso that night. I mean, like the Aces had no answer for him. But hopefully they can put an end to that today because I know they want revenge. I know revenge is on their minds right now.
Now, Aces fans may be listening and wondering why Kemonte Rayner is not in the starting lineup tonight. He's a little under the weather, and he's a big guy for them. He averages 14 points per game, about 10 rebounds per game. So we'll see what he can do off of the bench. But with him being under the weather, that's a little bit of a downer for the Aces because you really need him to really have a major impact on this contest.
Yeah, but I like some of the stuff I see from number 33, Tyree Capehart. He has a lot of hustle. He'll get you some rebounds. Hopefully he can do good tonight.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. The head coach, of course, of the Aces is Robert Woodley. The head coach of the Panthers, Lamont Gilliam. As I talked to Coach Gilliam, he said 2 emphasis he wants his team to focus on tonight is rebounding and also transition. Offense, he'd like to get up and down the court if he can. When you talk about the Aces, Coach Robert Woodley says he wants to focus on defense, wants to make sure that he can stop their run, also wants to control the boards, and he says if they play together tonight, they've got a good chance at pulling out this win.
Well, I mean, rebounds are key in almost every game because, I mean, even if you do get some good defensive possessions, if you don't get the board, it's just a waste of energy.
The Aces come out in their home whites with the blue and gold trim. The Panthers in their black, in their navy blue. And we'll see what they do off the tip ball. It went to the Aces to go out of bounds. Actually went to the Panthers out of bounds. And that'll be the first play. It goes off of the Aces, so that'll be a turnover. And so the Panthers will have the ball inbounded underneath their own basket. Just starting the first quarter of action here in Hertford. The Panthers have the ball between the circles. Is Norman. Norman will drive down the left side of the lane. He'll fall on that shot. Very contested. Good job. He comes up a little gimpy. Could be a little left ankle injury on Norman. We'll keep an eye on that. And we got a travel. That was unforced as the Aces brought the ball up. And Stanley, as he picked up the ball, just took a few more steps than necessary.
In order to beat this team, they have to take care of the basketball tonight.
So we'll see. We're going to keep an eye on that as Sadez Norman did come up a little gimpy as I'm looking at him right now in the corner. We'll see if he can stay in this one and maybe walk this one off. The Panthers have the ball going right to left on your radio dial. Straight away, that shot is off the mark, and rebound will go to the Aces. That was a really quick shot put up by Harris. But the Aces will come down with it. They'll walk it up the court. Between the circles with it is Wilson. Wilson will just pass that one over to Stanley in the corner. They want to get the ball down low. I think the Aces might want to work inside out if possible, as the Panthers have come out in what looks like a 2-3 zone. Had it on the right block by Verona, but he couldn't hold on to it. Battle for the rebound. Actually, battle for the loose ball goes to the Panthers. So another turnover by the Aces. They've got to watch that tonight. Norman with the ball on the left wing. He'll pass it back out. Downing calling for a pick. Gets it back to Norman between the circles. He's going up against Wilson. That's going to be an interesting matchup tonight. And there's Norman scoring his first 2 as he drove down the lane and scooped it with his left hand.
That was good body control right there. If he took the wrong step, he could have went right into the wall.
Des Norman puts the Panthers on the board. They lead it 2-0 with 6:35 to go in the first quarter. The Aces have the ball, driving down the baseline. Layup is up and in. That is a really good shot by Keenan Downing. He's going to have to stay aggressive on the offensive end. We're tied at 2.
And like you said, last game he got into foul trouble. He's going to have to be show a lot of discipline, and maybe hopefully he can stay in this whole game. Harris
brought the ball down and was able to get into the lane. He's going to the free throw line as we get our first foul of the contest. So this one will be against the Aces. I believe they're going to call this one against Keenan Downing. That's going to be his first personal. And at the free throw line for the Panthers, you've got Omar Harris. First shot is up. That one goes in. He's a 67% free throw shooter on the season. He drains the first one to give the Panthers a 1-point lead. This should be a very close contest between two of the best teams in the state. Second shot goes in. He's got 2 on the night. That'll make it 4-2. Panthers lead. 6:16 and counting in the first quarter. The Aces have the ball, going left to right on your radio dial. 15-footer put up, that one off the back of the rim by Stanley, but the rebound, putback is blocked. That's really good defense by Downing to make sure the Aces couldn't get it at the rim. The Panthers get on the break, and that's a good score by Des Norman. He's got 4, the Panthers 6, and they lead it by 4.
That was just excellent ball movement right there, from the block to the rebound, the pass, and the finish. It was all overall a good play.
Jarvis, the Panthers were able to get out in transition, a little bit of a fast break. That's something Coach Woodley does not want to happen. We'll see if that continues. As the Aces have the ball, they'll pass it out. With the ball on the left corner, it's Downing. He'll drive baseline. That shot is blocked. Another good defensive block by the big guys of the Panthers. And the Aces are getting in the lane, but they're able to knock that ball away. The Aces will inbound underneath their own basket, trailing by 4. 5:36 to go here on the high school game of the week. Jump shot from the right corner. That shot is off the mark by Wilson. And here come the Panthers bringing it up the court. Nice spin move on the right block. And that one was blocked out of there, but they're going to call. I thought they were going to call a foul. They're going to say it was just knocked out of bounds. So that's not a foul. They didn't call a foul. They said it was a block shot. So that was a good job by the Aces to get back, and that's something Coach Woodley talked about too, getting back, transition defense for both teams, 1 point of emphasis, and referees now a little bit of confusion. As they say the ball was blocked, we had one referee pointing it toward the Panthers. Another referee was about to give it back to the Aces, but both of the referees come together and make a decision, and they give it back to the Panthers. So they'll inbound underneath their own basket. Inbounding the ball for the Panthers is Chesson. Chesson with a dangerous pass to Norman. That ball knocked out of bounds, and they're going to say it's off of Norman, so that's going to give the ball back to the Aces. And Coach Lamont Gilliam and Coach Woodley on both ends, they're going to be very animated. So they really want these teams to really pull out a big win.
And I can't get over this atmosphere. There's so many people here. They moved to a bigger gym, and yet it's still filled up.
A straightaway goes in, and I mean the confidence for him to put that up as Joel Costin scores his first points of the contest, and that trims the Panther lead down to 1.
And he pulled from almost half court, limitless range.
That's a pull-up by Norman. His shot off the mark from the left wing. Rebound goes to the Aces. Bringing the ball up the court is Costin. Costin on the right wing. Double team opportunity for the Panthers. They weren't able to get anything out of it. 3-pointer put up is off by Downing, but a rebound and the putback is in. Good job by Stanley to be in the right place. He scores his first 2 of the night, and the Aces reclaim a 1-point lead. There's a steal off the inbound, and that's a good job by the Aces. A chance for them to go to the free throw line. Keenan Downing was right in the place he needed to be, and now he's going to the free throw line as we get a foul against the Panthers.
And I love the good, crisp passing on that sequence right there. They never rushed it. They slowed it down to look for a good shot.
At the free throw line for Edenton, number 23, Keenan Downing. 47% free throw shooter on the season so far. His first shot is up. That one off the back of the rim. Substitutions coming in the game. Kemontae Rayner makes his way into the contest. Also in the game for the Panthers, number 24, Andre Hill. So we'll see if Rayner can have an impact on this game. He's a little under the weather tonight, so he came off the bench. And we'll see how many minutes they can get out of him on the court. Second free throw is up and in for Downing. He now has 3 on the night. That'll make it 8-6, Aces lead. Panthers bid it across half court very quickly. Almost a travel with it on the left side now. It's Chesson. Chesson going up against Carlson. I think that's going to be a fun matchup to watch. He drives down the left side. That shot blocked by Rayner. He gets his first block of the night.
That's what happens when you go up against the trees.
Panthers hold on to it. They're going to drive and kick. There's a three-pointer put up by Chesson. That one rims out. Rebound goes to the Aces. They'll bring it up the court. Stanley has it at the top. He almost carried that ball, gets into the lane, loses it. Tries to drop it off to Rayner. Rayner with a wild shot. It'll go out of bounds, and that'll go back to the Panthers. Now, they're going to say that it was tipped possibly, so we're waiting to see if the referees, they're going to give it to the Panthers. The Aces said the ball was tipped, and the referees beg to differ. They're going to give this ball to the Panthers. So the Panthers will bring the ball up the court, going right to left on your radio dial. We thank you all for joining us, whether you're back in Edenton or possibly back near the Washington County area in the Plymouth section, checking this game out. We thank you for joining us for this high-profile matchup. The Aces now set up in what looks like a man defense, driving inside the lane. Nice moves put on. Shot no good by Harris. Rebound goes to the Aces. That was really good defense by Edenton to get around the ball handle. Three-pointer from the left wing by Causton. That's an air ball. It'll go out of bounds off the Aces. They're going to give the ball to the Panthers. What a crowd here tonight, Jarvis. I mean, we expected a massive crowd, but it is at capacity here tonight. I think they can't even take 5 more people in the building. This is pretty much a sellout for Edenton here for Plymouth County High School.
It's crowded at that door over there, as you can see. Everybody's just trying to do what they can to see this game.
It's definitely standing room only at this point as the Panthers have the ball and off of the pick. They're going to call a foul, and this one is easily against Bobby Wilson. And actually, they're going to call this one off the pick. They're going to say it was against Keenan Downing. So Downing was setting the pick, and the referees had to call it right in front of him. And again, actually, I apologize. They're going to call this one. I believe they called it against the Panthers. So they called that foul against number 24, Andre Hill. So the Aces will have the ball. So left to right on your radio dial. With it between the circles is Causton. Causton to the left side in the corner, back to Causton. So a little bit more movement needed by the Aces against this 2-3 matchup zone by the Panthers. Three-pointer put up by Causton. That one off from the left wing. But the rebound and putback is good by Keenan Downing. Picks up his 5th point of the night. The Aces with a 10-6 lead.
That's good hustle right there to fight his way into position and be ready for the rebound.
Driving down the left side, and I tell you, he was very aggressive on that shot. And he'll be able to go to the free throw line. They're going to call a blocking foul. This one will be against Joel Causton. That'll be his first personal. So at the free throw line for the Panthers, it's Adez Norman. 62% free throw shooter on the season so far, but Jarvis, we talked about it before, he can put up any shot. He's pretty comfortable anywhere on the floor. First shot rims off. So the Aces right now, their game plan is working. It's not necessarily a fast break situation, but they're handling the tempo. And if you look at the way the game is going, it's definitely a game for the Aces right now. And they're leading this one by 4.
And the question is, can they maintain this until the end of the 4th quarter?
Second shot is up. That one goes in. Norman now with 5 points. That'll make it 10-7 Aces. They'll bring the ball up the court. Causton has it. And gets it back between the circles. Again, like a zone defense here by the Panthers, and they're probably going to stay in the zone as much as possible to try to change it up. A contested shot is put up and in by Stanley. I don't know how he was able to get it in the basket, but he does to make it 12-7.
He had to pull a rabbit out the hat for that one.
The Panthers waste no time, get it across half court, high off the backboard by Norman, no good. Rebound goes to the Aces, and they are making sure that the Panthers only get 1 shot at the basket. The Aces have it on the left block. They're going to pass out of this, a little out of sorts. A tough lean-in shot, no good, and the Aces are right there on the board. They're doing a really good job on the offensive board. And this will be a foul against the Panthers. They're going to call this one. I think this will be against Chesson. That'll be his first personal on the night. And at the free throw line for the Aces will be Keenan Downing. See what he can do from there. The Downing, a senior forward. They've got a lot of senior leaders on this Aces team. First shot is up. That one off the back of the rim. Substitutions in the game for the Aces. Coming in is Armstead. Also in the contest, Malachi White. A nice pace through the game so far in this first quarter. Minute and 47 to go. Aces lead this one 12-7. And again, this is a home contest for the Aces here at Plymouth County High School. Second free throw goes in for Downing. That'll make it 13-7. The Panthers bring the ball up the court. Really good defense. Downing holds on to it. They'll drive in. Jump shot put up at the free throw line, rims out, but right there for the board is DeAndre Downing, who puts it in for his first 2 of the night and make it 13-9.
There's a lot of putbacks in here tonight.
Really are. Both of these teams pounding the board. Between the circles is White. He'll throw it over to the left side. Tried to do a crossover dribble, lost the ball, but Rayner is right there to grab it, and he puts it in. That's a good jump shot by Kemontae Rayner. And if he can knock down shots like that, it's going to help out this Aces team.
That was a good save by Armstead right there. Like the Aces say, they're never going to give up on the play.
Got it right to Rayner, and he put it in the basket, and it'll be really important to see how many minutes they can get out of Rayner tonight since he's under the weather. The Panthers now with the ball between the circles. Had a notion to shoot that 3. Harris, there's a 3 put up by the left corner, and Chesson drains it from the left wing. That'll make it 15-12 Aces, and the Aces bring it up the court. With it between the circles for the Aces is White. White will pass it over, in a little bit of trouble right now with Stanley. He'll cross-court pass this one, and before he took that shot, he traveled. That'll be a turnover, and that's something the Aces cannot do. In a game like this, you cannot have a loose ball situation. You can't turn the ball over. And they've got to watch the turnovers. They've had a few here in the first quarter.
And you do not want the Panthers to gain a lot of momentum as well.
40 seconds to go. The Aces leading this one 15-12. We thank you all for joining us. With it between the circles is Downing at the top. A little weave action as he drops the ball off to Harris. Harris going up against Downing. Nice crossover dribble. Jump shot from the free throw line. Rebound goes to the Aces. Loose ball. Somehow the Aces hold on to it. Taking it all the way to the rim. That one rims off. Rebound put back no good by Armstead, but the Aces hold on to it, and that was a really good pass down to Armstead, and he couldn't put it in the basket. Great opportunity by Keenan Downing, who did a good job dropping it off to Armstead. He just couldn't put it in the basket, out of bounds to the Panthers.
And the Aces felt sick off of that when they had 2 or 3 good looks right there. But
8 seconds to go. The Panthers bringing it up. Downing will walk it up. He might want a little one-on-one action. He shoots it pretty much from half court. Shot no good, and that's the way we're going to end the first quarter. Your score here from Clemens County High School. The Aces 15, the Panthers 12. You're listening to the high school game of the week on WRVS 89.9.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Carolina high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presents...
Welcome back to the high school game of the week here from Hertford. The Aces leading the Panthers 15-12 as we're going to start the second quarter of action. While we have a little bit of time, we want to remind you that this game is brought to you by Centera Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Specialists. We want to thank them for their support, helping patients get back to their daily routine with surgical and non-surgical services. You can learn more at 252-384-2360 and online at Centera.com. Jarvis, a fast-paced start here to this first quarter of action. Can these teams keep it up? Because if that continues, it's like the road runner running back and forth. We'll see if they can continue on here in this game.
Yeah, I'm amazed with what I see right now. Like, they really lived up to the expectations of this game tonight.
Again, a great crowd on hand for this contest. The 2 top teams in the Albemarle Athletic Conference battling for the top crown, and we'll see who gets it here. As we start off the second quarter, the Aces have the ball. Causton has it. They'll pass it over now to Wilson between the circles, trying to get it back to Causton. And he's in a little bit of trouble. He's going to have to dribble out of that. Downing had it on the left wing, had a notion to shoot a 3, but I tell you who did have a notion and put it up. That was Stanley, who couldn't drain it from the left corner to go out of bounds back to the Panthers. A little bit out of sorts on that offensive side. Seemed like they were confused on what to do with the basketball. And that three-pointer, a low percentage three-pointer, you could have got that at any moment. Probably not the shot Coach Woodley wanted.
Yeah, they could have made a few passes and try to find a better shot.
The Panthers have the ball. They'll bring it up the court, going right to left. Driving down baseline. Shot is blocked, but they're going to call a foul at the last moment. And that's going to send Sadez Norman to the free throw line. They're going to call that foul. I believe they're going to call that one against Kemontae Rayner. That'll be his first personal, and that free throw line is Norman. First shot is up. That one rims in. And it seems like Norman is just letting the game kind of come to him. He's taking his time, letting it flow. And I think once he gets going offensively, it's going to be hard to stop. So the Aces going to try to do their best to continue to slow him down as the second free throw a little off. 2 of 4 from the free throw line. So he was able to drain 1 or 2.
Yeah, like you said, if he finds a rhythm, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Very much so. In that game back on January 17th, he was so dominant in that second half. I haven't seen a player as dominant as him in a very long time. And when he gets going offensively, it's just hard to stop. 15-13 is the score, 7:07 to go. Just starting the second quarter of action. The Aces have the ball. Dribbling at the top against this man defense of the Panthers. And the Panthers are switching also. That's helping them out. There's a three-pointer put up in the left corner. That was off by Costin. But Rayner's right there for the putback. And he's had a good impact early on here. Puts it in the basket.
Steal as well.
There's a steal from the Aces on the inbound and a three-pointer put in by Stanley from the left corner. And Coach Gilliam is going to have to call a timeout. A put in by Rayner, a three-pointer put up in the basket by Stanley, and that gives the Aces a 20-13 lead with 6:41 to go in the second quarter. We'll take a quick break. Come on back for more of the high school game of the week.
Hi, it's Rachel Martin with NPR's Morning Edition. As you've no doubt heard, listener support makes public radio possible. But here's something you may not have heard. Public radio stations around the country raise millions of dollars each year from the sale of donated vehicles. That's right, vehicles of all sorts. Whether they're running or not, they can be turned into support for public radio. That vehicle you no longer need, here's how to donate it to support this station.
Call 866-789-8627.
The Aces steal the ball off the inbound. Stanley drains a three from the left wing, and that gives the Aces a 20-13 lead with 6:37 here in the second quarter. The Panthers bring the ball up. A little full court pressure put on by the Aces, but the Panthers handle it. Going down the right side, shot wild, no good by Harris, and the rebound goes to the Aces, but he threw the ball away, and that's an easy layup for Sadez Norman, who scores his 8th point of the night. As Bobby Wilson came down with the rebound, but he was hitting the back of the head. He laid down for a little bit. It looks like he was hit on the left side of that noggin. He gets back up, so that's good to see him get back up. But Sadez Norman, regardless, was able to get his 8th point of the night, and that trims this Aces lead down to 5.
Yeah, I love the physical play and players putting their body on the line, but I don't want to see anybody get hurt.
You really don't. In a contest like this, you expect physical play. You expect both players to jump down there on the floor and go after any kind of ball. If Coach Woodley is going to take Wilson out of the game, and I think that's a good move right here. Give him a little bit of a rest. So on the floor for the Aces, as they bring the ball up the court, you've got Downing. Bringing the ball up the court right now is White. Also Rayner. With the ball on the left side is Costin. And you also have in the game Stanley. Costin on the left side shoots a contested three. That's an air ball. And the rebound goes to the Panthers. They'll bring the ball up the court. And Jarvis not the best shot right there for the Aces.
Yeah, he's a shooter, yeah, but he could have got something better than that.
Driving in the lane, the floater no good. Battle for the rebound, goes out of bounds off of the Panthers, and you have to give that to the Aces. Good job by Norman to get into the lane. Just couldn't put that floater in, and the Aces come away with the basketball.
And I'm liking the calling by the refs to being impartial tonight as well.
They really are. We talked about it before. We got a really good referee team here who are going to really call as much as they can. If they see it, they're going to call it. They're not going to let anything slip. You need some real seasoned veterans on the referee squad, and we have that here tonight. So we'll see what happens as this one continues on. 5:37 to go. Aces lead by 5. A three-pointer by Stanley. That one off the back of the rim. Battle for the rebound on the floor is the Panthers. And I don't know if I would have called a travel. I don't think he was in thorough control of that. I think he got rid of it before he traveled. But they're going to say it's a turnover against the Panthers. And so that'll give it back to the Aces to inbound underneath their own basket. We'll see if the Aces can come away here. They'll throw it up, and that was just a dangerous pass stolen away by the Panthers. And they're going to take this one all the way in, off the back of the rim. Got to use the backboard. And they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. Unbelievable, Jarvis. Verona had the ball for the Panthers. He came down the court, tried to put a floater up, didn't use the backboard. He hit off the back of the rim. The Panthers come down with the rebound, but he steps out of bounds and gives it back to the Aces.
Yeah, first it looked like he was about to dunk it. Then he saw the defender coming to him, so he tried to switch it up to a layup and ended up blowing it.
Nashawn White makes his way into the game for the Panthers. On the floor is White. Also in the game is Harris. On the defensive end, also Chesson. You have Norman. And in that back right now in the post is Downing. The Aces have the ball. They'll pass it around. Rayner shoots a three from the right corner. No. Rebound goes to the Panthers. They'll bring the ball up on the right side. He's got a notion here to take it all the way in. Count it. That's a big-time score for Omar Harris and the Panthers. This foul will be against Stanley. That's going to be his first personal. And this is a chance for the Panthers to get 3 the hard way. At the free throw line will be Omar Harris, a 67% free throw shooter. And that shot goes in. Good job by Harris. He's got 5 on the night. And with 4:56 to go, the Aces leading this one by 2. Biggest lead of the game tonight was by the Aces. That was 5 early on. But right now the Panthers putting on this defensive pressure, coming away with a few steals and giving them some transition points. Rayner on the right wing. He's going to drive down the right side of the lane, and that is a strong move. He couldn't put it in the basket. Battle for the rebound goes to the Aces. Good offensive rebounding. A straightaway. That shot short. But there's Rayner right there for the putback. He's in the position he needs to be. He now has 6, and that gives the Aces back a 4-point lead.
If he's going on like this, he's easily going to get a double-double tonight.
He does not look under the weather here. He's putting his all out there for the Aces. And right now, with 4:14 to go, they're leading by 4. That's because of the hard work by Rayner and this Aces team. Good defense by the Aces. They've got somebody on the ball handler at all times. Crossover dribble between the circles by DeAndre Downing. He takes it down the left side of the lane, and his layup is good. He's got 4, and that'll make it 22-20. But here come the Aces, wasting no time and getting in the lane. Good job by Keenan Downing to take it into the rim and into the paint very strongly. And he's going to the free throw line.
And if I were the Aces, I keep attacking the basket because you're going to get a lot of the players from Washington County in foul trouble. A lot of the star players, they might have to take some time out and sit on the bench. And also, you get some easy points at the free throw line.
Keenan Downing, a senior forward at the line, drains that first free throw. Coming in the game for Edenton will be number 33, Tyree Capehart, who started tonight. Also coming in the contest will be Bobby Wilson, who stepped out. Took a little bit of time to get himself together after he took that little bit of a hit to the head, a little injury to him, but he's back out there ready to play. That's good to see. Second free throw is up. That one switches through the net. Keenan Downing now with 8 on the night. That'll make it 24-20 with 3:49 left in the first half. The Panthers get all the way into the lane, and somehow you just got to get in front of the ball handler as Harris was able to bring it right in, and he's going to the free throw line.
And Coach Woodley looked appalled that he didn't get that charge call.
They're going to call that foul. I believe they called it against Keenan Downing. I think he was trying to take that charge. That'll be his second personal. That's going to send for the Panthers. Omar Harris to the free throw line. His first shot is up. That one goes in. And you can look at Omar Harris. Seems like he might have a little bit of a groin injury after he tried to take it to the rim. And sometimes when players are trying to take a charge, the offensive player can get hit in the groin a little bit. So that can happen. The second shot goes up. It didn't bother him at all if he was able to knock down both of those. He's got 7 on the evening. That'll make it 24-22. Aces lead with 3:41 to go in the first half. Aces bring the ball up the court. Looks like we got a situation here for the Aces trying to find a little bit more movement, and they need it against this zone defense that the Panthers are putting on. They'll have it inside, and that's a good strip. Good defense by Downing. Almost went out of bounds. Somehow the Aces are able to hold on to it, take it strong down the left side of the baseline, and he's going to the free throw line. This foul will be against DeAndre Downing. His first personal. That's going to send Stanley to the, actually that's going to send Keenan Downing to the free throw line. We got a lot of Downings here. You got DeAndre Downing for the Panthers. You got Keenan Downing for the Aces. And right now, the Aces are at the free throw line, and he puts in the first free throw.
And I think this is what was missing last game. I know Keenan Downing got into foul trouble the last time they met up, but it seems the offensive presence is really on making a difference tonight.
Second shot is up. That one goes in. He now has 8. That'll make it 26-22 with 3:16 left in the second quarter. The Panthers have the ball, tried a little weave action. They almost lost that one, a little miscommunication. With it between the circles is Norman. He's going up right now against Carlson. He wants a little one-on-one, gets in the lane, right-handed shot. Good defense by the Aces, Capehart. And here come the Aces with the ball. They throw that one away. And again, you got to slow down a little bit. They had a chance for a fast break, but they really didn't need it. A step-up three-pointer. That one goes in by Chesson. He now has 6, and he drained that one with a lot of confidence to trim this Aces lead down to 1.
And you can't sag off a Chesson like that. I mean, you leave him that open, he's going to burn it every time.
This crowd is into this one. There's a three-pointer put up from the right wing, and he banks it in. He didn't call it. McGill cost him 3. He now has 6. Now make it 29-24. Back and forth we go here in Hertford.
Has limitless range.
Crossover dribble. Right to go behind the back. Almost lost it. The Panthers hold on to it. The Aces in man defense. With the ball on the right wing is Chesson. Chesson gets it at the three-pointer to Harris. That one straight away. He drains it. And we've got a battle of heavyweights on this court. 29-27. Aces lead. That's a big three-pointer by Omar Harris. Straight away. Put it in the basket. And we're winding this one down. But what a game right now in the second quarter. The Aces have the ball. The Panthers are back in what looks like man defense, driving down the lane. That was a good, strong move by Stanley. And they're going to call a blocking foul against the Panthers. But at the free throw line for the Aces. First shot is up. That one goes in for Majante Stanley. Few substitutions in the game. So at the free throw line again with a second shot. Opportunity is Majante Stanley. He's a captain on this team, a senior guard. Second shot goes up. That one goes in.
Making the most of the opportunities at the free throw line tonight.
9 points for Stanley. 1:45 to go. Aces lead this one by 4. Jump shot off the mark. And Abel, that's a really good job to save that ball inbounds to Chesson. And to go out of bounds off the Aces. So that was a really good job. A strong by Norman to get out of bounds and able to reach for that ball and throw it back in. And the Panthers will inbound from the sideline. 1:36 to go. Panthers inbound it. They'll get it up there at the right corner with the ball. Oh, it's Omar Harris. He got a little one-on-one going down the right side of the lane. That's a little too aggressive by Malachi White. They had to call that foul. That's going to send the Panthers to the free throw line.
I think some of the fans disagree with it. I think they're saying he hit all ball when he went up for it.
I think there was a little bit more body contact than what they were able to see. Of course, we had a good vantage point here from where we are looking right at it. So at the free throw line for the Panthers will be Omar Harris. First free throw is up. That one switches through the net. 67% free throw shooter on the season for the sophomore guard, who now has 11 points and going for his 12th point. See if he can trim this lead down to 2. Second shot goes in. Had to give him 12 on the night. 31-29, 1:25 left in the first half. Stay tuned. We'll go around NENC Sports and check out some games that are happening around the area and also give you some first half stats. The Aces have the ball. That's a nice drive by Stanley as he was able to run down the middle of the court. He's now in the lane. That's a wild shot put up by him. Not the shot you want. The Panthers come down with it. And they have a chance here for a fast break. They've got a 2-on-1. He stops at the three-point line, shoots a 3 and drains it. Chesson puts it in. That's 9 points. What a shot by Chesson. Jarvis is different. They had a 2-on-1 break. Instead of taking it to the basket, Chesson said, hey, I'm going to pull it from the left side. He drains a 3, and that gives the Panthers back a 1-point lead.
He was going to make sure he made that. He stepped all the way back, make sure his feet were set, had a good form and everything.
That is a cold-blooded shot. The Aces have the ball driving down the left side. Wild shot missed by White. The Panthers have it, and they may hold for the final shot. It was a really good first half of the Aces. There's a three-pointer straight away by Chesson, hard off the back of the rim. Offensive rebound and put back. That was off by Norman, and the Aces come down with it. You might look back at that and say that was a mistake. The Panthers had a chance to take the final shot. Stanley goes down the lane. His shot is up and in. That could have been a three-point play, but instead referees didn't call it. The Aces take back a 1-point lead. Here come the Panthers on the left side. Crossover dribble by Chesson. And if he took it in the lane, they'll get a foul against the Aces. They're going to call this one against Capehart. I believe that'll be his first personal foul on the night. So at the free throw line for the Panthers will be Chesson. 61% free throw shooter, and Jarvis, I thought the Panthers were in trouble when they didn't come down and hold for the final shot. But right now they got a chance to put in 2 and take a lead.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a close one tonight.
That first shot goes in for Kwamel Chesson. Going for his 11th point here at the line. Second shot is up. That one goes in to make it 34-33 Panthers. So the Aces will have it here. Final shot from the half court. It goes up in the rafters, and that's the way we'll end it. The Aces pretty much had to lead the entire first half, but the Panthers made enough points down the stretch, and they take a 1-point lead into halftime. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll give you some first half stats and go around some scores from games that are happening in the area. You're listening to the High School Game of the Week on WRVS 89.9.
WRVS 89.9 takes a closer look into community affairs with Around the Town with Hez Brown. This 30-minute show will present news and information on local issues, arts and entertainment, education, and more. Around the Town with Hez Brown, this Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. on WRVS 89.9.
Elizabeth City State University promises to be the most affordable choice for a high-quality university education. The North Carolina Promise tuition plan will reduce the tuition cost of attending ECSU to only $500 per semester for in-state students. Learn more online at ecsu.edu/NCPromise. Elizabeth City State University. Come to discover, leave to conquer.
So you take the mouse and click over there, and then you can choose someone you want to call.
My niece. I click here?
Uh-huh.
This is Louisa. Recently, she got help going online to chat with her family back home.
Okay, so then you want to hit that green button.
This is her first time on the internet and her first time seeing her niece in 5 years. Louisa doesn't know what to expect.
Louisa? Oh my gosh. There she is. This is amazing.
It's so good to see you. You look so pretty.
But this is definitely way beyond.
Oh my gosh.
See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. That's 1-855-387-9166.
Oh, I've missed you.
Oh, me too.
Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the High School Game of the Week here from Hertford. Right now, the Panthers leading the Aces 34-33 at halftime. Real quick, just to give you a quick score update, in the Northeastern game back in Elizabeth City, the Bertie Falcons are leading the Eagles 34-23. That's at halftime right now. And we'll keep you up to date on other scores as they come in. A real fun, fast-paced game in this one. The Aces really had a good game plan, Jarvis, in that first half. One of the guys that really came through for them was Kemontae Rayner. He only had 6 points, but he was such a force for them, rebounding the ball, also had a block shot in the game. But Jonte Stanley, 11 points in the game. Keenan Downing comes in with 10 from the first half. For the Panthers, 10 points by Kwamel Chesson. He also knocked down 2 3-pointers in that first half, which helped the team out. Omar Harris, 12 points in the first half, and also Downing for the Panthers. He had 4 points in the game, but he also came up with a block himself. Again, when you look at what the Aces did, the game plan worked in the first half until late in the first half. And if you're Coach Woodley, you want to continue on with the same game plan because I think it'll work for you.
Yeah, I think they got a little bit sloppy in taking care of the basketball. And then I noticed, like, earlier when they had the lead, they were taking a lot more three-pointers and making them. Maybe they have to shoot with this team in order to keep up with them, and hopefully win this game.
I tell you what, you talk about Chesson for the Panthers. He knocked down 2 3-pointers. You talk about Costin. He knocked down 2 3-pointers for the Aces. 3-pointers, they go back and forth. These are two heavyweights. And, I mean, you can definitely see it in the first half. But do they have the energy to keep this pace going in the second half? You talked about that earlier, but there's a lot of good athletes on this squad, and I think they have mutual respect for each other because every time they play, it seems like it's a big game.
Yeah, they're actually conversating and laughing with each other right now. So, I guess, respect between two dominant people in this conference. But, I mean, the fans really got their money's worth today.
They really did, especially in that first half as we wait a little bit, as they're taking a little bit of time. They go over and get the game ball. And both teams are out here on the court ready to get this thing started. Again, the Aces really played well in the first half. They led most of the way until pretty much about the last minute when the Panthers were able to kind of really get things going. One player that we didn't talk about was Thaddeus Norman. He has 8 points in tonight, but he really hasn't been aggressive on the offensive side. You got to believe that's going to change here in the second half as the Panthers bring the ball up the court, going left to right on your radio dial. Crossover dribble by Harris. It gets on the right side. And that one dribble that he made after he was able to pass that ball, able to hold on to it. He got over there where he wanted to be. Doesn't take a player long to get from one part of the court to the other, and now he's going to the free throw line. So at the free throw line for the Panthers will be Omar Harris. Got 12 points on the night so far. Nobody in foul trouble really at all either, Jarvis. Look at both teams. When we had that first game, the Aces had a couple players in foul trouble in the first half. Not a situation here in the second half, starting off the second half anyway, as Omar Harris puts in the first free throw. See what he does here from the line on the second one. That one goes up. That one goes in. So good job by Omar Harris at the line. He's got 14, and that'll make it 36-33 Panthers lead. The Aces break that full court pressure of the Panthers. Skip pass over on the left side. I thought that Carson was going to put that three up. He's already knocked down 2 threes, so he's seeing a big rim here tonight. Tried to drop it in the block, pass it back, three-pointer from the left wing. That one rims out. Battle for the rebound goes to the Panthers. The Panthers will bring the ball up the court. Dez Norman will take it between the circles. The Aces in man defense. Three-pointer very quickly put up by Chesson, and he swishes it for his third three-pointer of the night. Man, he is seeing a big rim also, and the Aces are now trailing this one by 6.
They might need to have a hand in his face at all times. He has a quick release as well. He could just fire at will.
Strong move by Capehart on the left block. Couldn't put it in the basket. Euro step into the lane, and a big-time score by Omar Harris on the right block. And we're going to get a personal foul. And I believe they called this one against Bobby Wilson. So this is a chance for Omar Harris to get 3 the hard way, and he's been very aggressive to start off this second half. Free throw goes up, that one goes in. He's got 17 on the night. That'll make it 41-33. Biggest lead of the game for the Panthers is right now they lead it by 8. The Aces have the ball. They'll get into the lane. That ball stripped away by the Panthers. They'll get it up the court. And that's a nice strip by the Aces to get back on the defensive end, but they let him get his own. He was able to get his own loose ball. Chesson puts it in the basket. He's got 15 on the night, and that gives the Panthers a double-digit lead here in the third quarter. The Aces, quick jump shot. That one air ball. Tried to bounce it off of a Panther. He was able to inbound it, and the Aces hold on to it, takes it down the lane. Strong move by Capehart. He's going to go to the free throw line, and we'll get a foul against Verona and the Panthers. So right now, if you're the Aces, he's going to the free throw line, but it seems like the Aces just got to slow it down a little bit. They're taking some quick shots, and now they got a chance to go to the line for 2. First free throw is up. That one switches in. As he goes 1 or 2 from the line, the Panthers come down with that rebound. Here come the Panthers with the ball up the court right now with Chesson. Three-pointer put up. That one no good. So the Aces will bring the ball up the court. With it on the left wing, they're going to drive into the lane. Try to drop that off to Capehart, stolen away by the Panthers. They'll bring it up the court. Had a notion for that crossover, and they'll pull it back out. Good job by the Panthers to use a little bit of the clock, leading this one by 11. Three-pointer put up from right corner. Hits the rim, goes over the backboard for Downing, and back to the Aces.
And I think the Panthers are trying to shoot a lot more threes now, trying to pull away further and further and further. They notice they got a lead, so they're taking a lot more threes than I've noticed in the first half.
Very much so. The Aces have the ball going right to left. Three-pointer put up from the right corner. That shot no good. They really needed that one to go down for Stanley. Instead, the Panthers come away with that rebound. DeAndre Downing brings it up the court. He'll pass it over into the corner. There's a three-pointer put up by Harris, and a three-pointer drops down the bottom of the net to make it 47-33. The Panthers taking control of this one in the second half. Driving down the lane. That's just a wild shot put up by Stanley. It'll go out of bounds. Waiting for the referees to make a call, and they're going to say it'll stay with the Aces. Coming in the game, it's Demonte Rayner who will make his way back in. And what a turn of events here in the third quarter to start this one off, Jarvis, and the Panthers really finding a groove offensively.
Yeah, I mean, they worked fast. Like, the Aces were just down 1. Now they're down by about 14.
Unbelievable. Biggest lead of the game is right now. They're trailing this one by 14, 33-47. Panthers lead. Three-pointer straight away is up, swishes through the net. For Joel Costin and the Aces, and they needed that one in the worst way. Coach Woodley will call a timeout with 4:56 to go. It's the Aces 36, the Panthers 47.
Save the date for the Founders Day Scholarship Gala 13, Saturday, March 7th at the K.E. White Center. This Black Tie Harlem Renaissance experience will raise funds to benefit the ECSU Foundation General Scholarship Fund, helping current ECSU students with tuition and other fees. Learn more online at ecsu.edu. Elizabeth City State University. Come to discover, leave to conquer.
Welcome back to the high school game of the week. The Panthers lead the Aces 47-36. Join us for our next game. We're going to take Friday off, Jarvis. We need a little bit of rest, but we'll be back here on Tuesday, next Tuesday, as we'll have a game between the Panthers, against the Pirates, and the Camden County Bruins. Game time set for 7:30, and we'll bring you that game right here from Hertford. Seems like we spent a lot of time here for Clemens County High School, but they always do a pretty good job. Again, thank you to Athletic Director Justin Robeson for always setting us up nicely for these games. The Panthers will have the ball, almost taken away, actually stolen by the Aces. They'll bring it into the lane. Shot is up and in. That's a good steal and a good score by Keenan Downing. That'll make it 39-47 Panthers.
And they brought it back down to single digits. Hopefully they can spark a run.
We'll see if the Aces can hold defensively. They got to come up with a few steals if possible. As Stanley back in the game. That shot no good, but they're going to call a foul against Rayner. He didn't like the call, but it was a little body contact. That'll be a foul against Kemontae Rayner. That'll be his second personal. And that was a strong move in the lane going to the basket by Harris, who has been really aggressive in this second half. I tell you, if there's a player of the game right now, it's Omar Harris, who's getting the job done for the Panthers. His first shot is up and in.
Yeah, I know his free throw average had to go up after this, too. It's like his fourth trip at the line, isn't it?
And Jarvis, you all talked about it before. When you're going up against a shot blocker, you got to take it into him, and that's what he's been doing in this one. That'll put the second foul on Rayner, and the second free throw goes in. Good job by Omar Harris, who has 19 on the night. That'll make it 39-49. 10-point lead for the Panthers. The Aces have the ball going right to left. The Panthers want a double team out of that. Somehow Rayner is able in the corner. He's in a little bit of trouble. That ball knocked out of bounds by the Panthers. The Aces were in a whole lot of trouble bringing that ball up the court. And there was a couple of traps by the Panthers trying to get a few steals. They picked it up on the defensive end, and I think that is the reason why they're leading this game right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if the Aces can do anything with it here. 4 minutes, 20 to go. With the ball is Costin. He'll pass it over to the right side to White. He get it at the free throw line, and that's just an easy pass down on the left block, and that's a good score by Stanley, who puts it in the basket for his 13th point. That'll make it 49-41 Panthers. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Bringing the ball up the court is to Des Norman. Crossover dribble. He spots up for a three-pointer and puts it in the basket. It does not take him a lot of time, nor does he need a lot of room to knock down a three. That'll make it 52-41. That's too easy driving down the lane. Keenan Downing. That'll make it 43-52. Panthers will bring the ball up the court. He was open for a three. Instead, he steps in and he airballs a jump shot. But the putback is off. Rebound goes to the Aces. Took a little bit more time than necessary. I think he overthought that. That's why he missed that shot. The Aces will bring it up the court. Driving down the right side. That's just a wild scoop shot by Stanley. It's no good. But thankfully, he had Keenan Downing right there to put it in the basket. That's 16 for Downing. That'll make it 45-52, and we'll get a reach-in foul against Keenan Downing.
It was clear he took a bump right there.
Coach Woodley did not like that at all. You can see him on the sideline very angry over that foul call. I think the reason why is because that'll be the third personal foul against Downing. He's going to have to come out of the game. So the Panthers will have the ball. They'll inbound from the sideline. 45-52, 3:08 to go in the third quarter. The Panthers will walk this ball up. The Aces are set up in man defense. And the Aces, you probably want to be as aggressive as possible. That's a nice drive from the left side. And DeAndre Downing had a lot of confidence going in that lane. Couldn't put it in the basket, but he's going to go to the free throw line with a chance to shoot two. Foul for the Aces will go against Majante Stanley, I believe. That'll be a second personal. First free throw is up. That one rims off.
Probably the first free throw they missed this quarter.
2 minutes and 58 to go, and I tell you, it's been a Panthers third quarter so far as the second free throw switches to the net. He goes 1 or 2. He's got 5 points on the night. 45-53 is the score. The Aces have the ball between the circles. Crossover dribble, trying to go down the left side. A little out of sorts. Rayner now in the corner. And that ball was just a bad pass as he was trying to get it to a cutting Malachi White. The Panthers waste no time getting it up the court. Fast break score by Kwame Chesson. That'll be 15 for him. Now to give the Panthers back a 10-point lead. The Aces have the ball going right to left. Working a little half-court offense. Rayner with it. And the Panthers have done a really good job trying to negate anything Rayner wants to do. Nice head fake, gets in the lane, and his shot is off, but he'll be able to go to the free throw line. That'll be a foul against the Panthers, and that'll send the Aces to the free throw line with a chance to shoot two. Majante Stanley, 53% on the season. First shot is up. That one goes in. That'll be his 14th point now, Jarvis. He averages 13 points per game this season so far, so he's over his average. That's helped the Aces cause in this one, but they're still trailing this one. As the second shot goes up, that one goes in, trailing it by 8.
You remember the last time they were down, it was Majante Stanley who was one of the pioneers that led that comeback.
So we'll see if he can do that again back on January 17th. He was a big part of that, so we'll see if he can make it happen for the Aces here in the third quarter. 2:08 to go. Panthers lead by 8. Going down the right side of the lane and going up against Rayner. He didn't mind. He puts it in the basket. That's Des Orman picking up his 13th point of the night. Back to a 10-point Panther lead. Wild shot by Stanley. Rebound goes to Rayner, and he's going to go to the free throw line as the referee's called a late foul. That one will be against Norman. That'll be his first personal. DeMonte Rayner at the line. He's a 58% free throw shooter on the season, but the senior forward had an impact on the first half. Hasn't had that big of an impact on the second half so far. You got to believe he's going to stay in the game and continue to give his best. First shot goes up, that one goes in.
And what a lot of people don't know about that, since he's a shooting big, it allows his team to create more space on the floor and allows his other teammates to get into the paint more and get more layups and drives.
Keontae Saunders makes his way into the game for the Panthers. Second shot is up. Second shot goes in. He now has 8 on the night. That trims the Panther lead down to 8, 49-57. And that's a travel. I don't know. I tell you, in the corner, Andre Hill had a notion to shoot the three, but he dragged that pivot foot. That'll be a turnover against the Panthers, something Coach Gilliam and the Panthers do not need with this 8-point lead. You cannot get sloppy as we wind down the third quarter. The Aces have the ball. They'll get it in the corner. Jump shot no good, but the rebound goes to the Aces. Rayner is right there with an opportunity. He puts it up. Shot goes in, and they're going to count the basket for Kemontae Rayner. He battled for that rebound. That was a good job by Kemontae Rayner to get down there and continue to fight for that rebound. And we're going to get a foul against Andre Hill. That's going to be his second personal. That's going to send Rayner to the line to complete the three-point play.
The Aces are starting to score a lot more now, but they just need to stop trading baskets.
Very much so. Got to get it going on the defensive end, kind of slow this Panther team down. Kemontae Rayner free throw goes up and in. He completes the three-point play. He now has 11. He's in double figures. That'll make it 57-52 Panthers. They'll bring the ball up the court. On the left side is Norman. Will pass his ball back. On the left wing is Saunders. Panthers need to pull this thing back out and reset as the Aces playing some really good zone defense right now. Skip that pass to the left side to Saunders. Saunders now in the corner. Has to throw this ball back out, and right now the defense seems like it's tricking up the Panthers just a little bit. Almost loses that ball. Somehow he held on to it. I don't know how he was able to hold on to it, but Keontae Saunders puts in his first points of the night to make it 59-52 Panthers.
Yeah, Saunders made something out of nothing right there from almost turning the ball over to picking up 2 points.
Somehow he was able to put it in the basket, and now the Aces will have it. 38 seconds on the clock. He'll get a pick from Rayner. They'll pass it around. Driving in the lane is Stanley. Stanley left-handed floater, no good. Battle for the rebound goes to Rayner on the left side, and he puts it in the basket. Jarvis, he's working real hard tonight on the boards, and his putbacks are helping this Aces team. He now has 13, and the Aces have trimmed it down to a 5-point lead. But here come the Panthers racing down the left side of the court. First shot no good. Downing stuck with it, put it in the basket. He now has 7. That'll make it 61-54. 8 seconds on the clock. Here come the Aces bringing it up. Pass it in the corner. Stanley drives. Cross court. Rayner, three-pointer from the left wing. That one's short. That's the way we'll end the third quarter. Your score at the end of the third is the Panthers 61, the Aces 54. You're listening to the high school game of the week on WRVS 89.9.
We depend on our drinking water supply daily, but where does that water come from? Your water provider encourages you to get to know your local water source so together we can protect and preserve it. The investments we make as a community to protect our water source now ensure we have a sustainable drinking water supply for the future. Visit drinktap.org to learn more. This message is brought to you by the American Water Works Association and your local water provider.
You're listening to the high school game of the week on WRVS 89.9. Clay Mercer here with Jarvis Riddick. We're ready to start the fourth quarter of action here from Hertford with the Panthers leading 61-54 in this contest between two of the top 1A teams in the state. The Aces will have the ball to start off the fourth quarter of action. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Woodley told his team, to see any adjustments that they can make. Three-pointer put up by Stanley from the right corner. Off. Rebound goes to the Aces, and they got another opportunity at it. 15-footer put up by Wilson. That one's off. Rebound goes to the Panthers. Couple of big opportunities there for the Aces to start off the fourth quarter with a few scores. Instead, DeAndre Downing comes down with a rebound, and he'll bring it across half court for the Panthers. They almost throw that one away, and they do. As they throw it back in the backcourt. That'll be a turnover, giving it back to the Aces.
That was a good eye by the ref right there. I didn't even notice that.
I saw the feet come down in that backcourt, so that was a good call. And the Aces will get this ball back. They got to find some points, but Jarvis, we talked about it during the break. The Aces have got to stop somebody, too. They got to find a way to slow down this Panther offense.
They're scoring a lot of twos, but the Panthers are scoring a lot of threes as well, so they can't come back into it.
Rayner in the lane, his fadeaway no good. He tried to make a quick pass back to him. Somehow the Aces hold on to that loose ball. They'll have it in the corner, going down the baseline. Back to Rayner, who was right in front of the cup. He scores. And Jarvis, he doesn't seem like he is under the weather at all. He has 17 on the night right now, unofficially. That'll make it 61-56.
And he came to play today.
7 minutes to go. 5-point Panther lead. Three-pointer put up from the right corner. I tell you what, he drains that three with confidence. So there's Norman. He puts it up, and it seems like every time he throws it in, every time he puts it up, he knows it's going in. I mean, that's how confident he is. He's got 14 on the night. That'll bring the Panthers lead back up to 8. They're going to have to call that reach-in foul against Norman as he was reaching right across Malachi White, right in front of the referee. They had to make that call. So that'll be a foul against Norman. That'll be his second person. So Des Norman, I tell you, he's going to help a college team out somewhere. I don't know where, but that senior shooting guard has a lot of skills. He can knock down shots with regularity. There was 6 minutes and 40 to go. The Panthers hanging on to this 8-point lead. The Aces drop that ball off in the corner. They're going to pass this ball back out and reset this thing. Gets a quick pick. Stanley goes down the right side of the lane and he scores. That was a good pick to get him open. He rolled down the right side of the lane and he scores. That'll make it 58-64.
That was a good screen by Keenan Downing too, allowing Majonte Stanley to get the space to go in for the layup.
Shot no good by the Panthers. Aces come down with it. And again, you don't need to take quick shots if you're the Panthers. You're leading right now. You want to use that clock to become your best friend. Instead, the Aces have it at the free throw line. They'll pass it over now. Right now, they got to hold on to this ball. Downing a little loose with that ball, and it goes out of bounds. They were out of sorts that entire offensive set. And you got to be a little bit more. You got to hold on to that ball. I mean, the Aces can't have turnovers, especially with you being down with about 5 minutes and 56 left.
There's plenty of time left. They're only down by 6. I don't know why they're playing with a sense of urgency. Just take your time with each possession and find a good shot.
What a game this has been, though. A lot of these players here, a lot of talent on this floor has been outstanding so far. We're in the fourth quarter, and the Panthers hanging on to a 64-58 lead. They have the ball, three-pointer put up from the left wing, and it's DeAndre Downing drains a three-pointer, and Coach Lamont Gilliam and the Panthers will call a timeout on that three. Ice water in their veins. They don't mind where they put it up. They are confident in every shot they shoot, and right now they lead at 58-67. You're listening to the high school game of the week on WRVS 89.9.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. Get free tips to help boost your retirement savings now at aceyourretirement.org/Shiro.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Coming out of that timeout after a three-pointer by the Panthers puts them up by 9. 58-67 is your score. And what a contest this has been. But right now the Panthers are rolling on the offensive end, and the Aces just can't find a way to slow them up. The Aces have the ball. Man-to-man defense here by the Panthers. Actually, take that back. It was a 2-3 zone by the Panthers. Driving down. There's a slam dunk by the Aces. Keenan Downing driving down that baseline and slamming it in. He has 18 on the night. The Panthers come down the court, couldn't put it in the basket. That would have been a nice neutralizing shot. Instead, it'll go out of bounds off the Panthers. And here come the Aces. They get it across half court very quickly, going right to left. They pass it over to the left side of Stanley. Stanley, three-pointer from the left wing. That one long. Look at that rebound. A chance for it. He had it in his hand down. They couldn't pull it down. The Panthers wanted to bring it up the court, but they were a little loose with it, and they come away with a steal. Then Stanley throws it back away to the Panthers, and right there in front of the cup, Omar Harris couldn't put it in. Stanley, left-handed floater, rims it in. That's a big shot for Stanley and the Aces.
The art of the floater. You don't see that too much in basketball or high school basketball.
67-62, 4:30 to go in the game. The Panthers have the ball. Harris with a couple of dribbles between the legs, still at the free throw line. Good defense by Stanley and the Aces. They have to pull this one back out. Norman driving down the baseline. His shot is up and in. It is a situation where Tadez Norman can take over at any moment, and if you cannot slow him down, there's just no way you can win this game. He now has 16. Exactly what happened in the game back in January where Tadez Norman took over in the second half.
He started off this first half kind of slow, but then he just came out of nowhere blazing.
He lets the game come to him, Jarvis, and it's wonderful to watch as the Aces have the ball driving down the lane. Couldn't put it in. Battle for the rebound. Goes out of bounds off of the Panthers. They got to give the ball to the Aces. 3:49 to go. 69-62 is your score, and it's been a great game and a great atmosphere. This is the best atmosphere we've had all season long. You got to give it to these two team fan bases, the Panthers and the Aces, for coming out here and supporting their team in what pretty much is a neutral contest game. Three-pointer off of the inbound. That one long. Offensive rebound goes to the Aces, and they got another opportunity at it. Joel Carlson couldn't knock it down from the left wing, but he gets it back, and the Aces here have to find a way to put the ball in the basket. Nice drive, put it in. That's a strong move by Keenan Downing, and it seemed like he took off from a long way outside the lane, but he was able to put it in, and he's got a chance to get three the hard way.
Yeah, he said he's going to do everything in his power to try to get them to lead again. He's not going to stop.
20 points by Keenan Downing. He's at the free throw line as we get a substitution in the game. Rayner will take a seat. Coming in is Tyree Capehart. But with the game Rayner actually has had in this contest, you got to believe he's going to make his way back in momentarily. At the free throw line is Keenan Downing, the senior forward. And this is a big free throw for the Aces. They really need to kind of knock this one down. Let's see what they do. First shot is up, and the shot is no good. Battle for the rebound on the floor goes to the Aces. So he couldn't complete the three-point play, but they get the rebound with another chance. Driving down is Stanley, and he's going to go to the free throw line. The referee's called that a little late, but Stanley drove in, and he got to take it to the basket, and he's going to have a chance to go to the free throw line.
I was kind of concerned for him on the collision. He made a loud thud right there on the concrete, well, on the floor.
He popped right back up, and he's going to go to the line. And Jarvis, we talk about free throws. These are big free throws here in this second half, and can't have too many better at the line for the Aces. And Stanley is one of the better free throw shooters for this team. Only a 53% free throw shooter, but he's also a senior. So you got to believe the nerves won't get to him. He just got to step to the line and knock him down. First shot is up. That one goes in.
And you know what he can do in the final minutes of the game. Against Camden, he has a buzzer beater three-pointer to win them the contest.
Tadez Norman, Nashawn White makes their way back into the game. Also on the floor for the Panthers is Chesson. In the back right now is DeAndre Downing. And on the block is Omar Harris. Those are the five on the floor for the Panthers. Second free throw is up. That one goes in for Stanley. He now has 21 on the night. That'll make it 69-66, a three-point lead by the Panthers. And Stanley a little too aggressive off of that inbound. And you can see Coach Woodley just kind of grind his teeth a little bit, saying, we didn't need that foul. They're not over the limit at all. So the Panthers will inbound once again, leading this one by 3.
We talk about a comeback. They were down 14, and then they brought it back into a one-possession game.
Unbelievable. As Stanley picks up his third foul, the Panthers will inbound, going left to right on your radio dial. They had to come back in that game back on January 17th, so they've come back now, cut it to 3, and we'll see if the Aces have anything in the tank on the defensive end. That's got to be a travel against the Panthers as they got into the lane. He didn't like the call, but Omar Harris got into the lane, and when he came to a jump stop, he moved that foot a little bit. We saw it from where we are down here. That's a good call by the referees as Rayner makes his way right back in the game for the Aces. Jarvis, they're only trailing by 3. There's no need to move fast. You can take your time, get a set play. There's a lot of time left on that clock. You're only trailing by 3.
Yeah, just take your time, find the best shot possible. Don't rush anything.
Keenan Downing has the ball. He'll chest passes over to the right side of Carlson. Carlson on the right wing. Not a lot of movement by the Aces. You got to get some people moving, especially on the baseline. driving in, left-handed floater, no good by Stanley. Rebound dropped off to Rayner. His shot no good, but right there for the putback is Keenan Downing. He now has 22. We've got a 1-point lead by the Panthers here with 2:41 left in the game. Panthers have it on the right wing. Norman drives in. That shot is blocked by Rayner. He thought he had a clean block. They're going to call a foul against Rayner, and that's going to send Zadez Norman to the free throw line.
The block itself was clean, but it looked like they made a little bit of contact when he went up for the shot.
You can hear the Aces faithful. They didn't like that call. Zadez Norman at the free throw line. 62% free throw shooter on the season. Switches that one to the net. He now has 17. As the referees are having a quick conversation, looks like having a conversation with Bobby Wilson of the Aces at the line. Second free throw for Zadez Norman. You can hear the crowd. It is electric here at Clemens County High School. Second free throw goes in. 18 points on the night for Zadez Norman. That'll give the Panthers back a 3-point lead. The Aces will bring the ball up the court, going right to left. On the left side of the lane, actually on the left side right now is Causton on the left wing. He'll get a pick from Rayner. He'll drive, drop that ball off now to Downing, who gets in the lane. And they're going to call a jump ball, or they're going to call a foul. And they're going to call a foul against the Panthers. I tell you what, I thought it was a jump ball. Jarvis, you might have saw something different, but they're going to call a foul against the Panthers, and that's going to send the Aces Keenan Downing to the free throw line.
Yeah, it was close to being a jump ball, but I mean, he did drive into the three people, so chances are, yeah, one of them probably came into contact with him.
First free throw is up. That one goes in. Keenan Downing now at 23 on the night coming in the game. It's Tyree Capehart. And it seems like Coach Woodley is switching Capehart and Rayner back and forth to give Rayner a little bit of time. And then when they come back in, I think you get him back in on the offensive side.
Well, I mean, with him working in the trenches, trying to get a lot of the boards, I know they're absorbing a lot of contact, so I guess we want to keep them as fresh as possible.
Both free throws go in the basket for Keenan Downing. 24 on the night. He's done his job. What a night he has had. He's putting in work for this Aces team. They're trailing by one. 2:19 to go, and you can see the crowd. Some of the people are standing right now. It's standing room only here for this contest. The Panthers will bring the ball up the court. They're going to walk it up. Omar Harris has it. He'll get between the circles, going up against Stanley. He'll drive down the right side, bumps into his own player, and that was an air ball. Here come the Aces with a chance to take the lead. Stanley driving down the left side of the lane, strong move. He airballs it, gives it right back to the Panthers. No foul call on that as the Panthers will bring the ball up the court. On the left side is Harris. They'll pass it right back to Zadez Norman. He wants a little one-on-one action. He's going to get it against Stanley. Yo-yo dribble gets in the lane. Shot is up off the backboard. No foul call. The Aces get it back. They've got a chance here if they want it. They'll bring it up the court. Stanley straight away. Off the mark. Rebound goes to the Panthers. And that was a good foul because I'm going to tell you what happens. Zadez Norman didn't get back on the defensive end. And if that foul hadn't happened, they could have thrown it to him for an easy layup. So they're going to call a foul very quickly against the Aces. They called that one against Malachi White. That'll be his second personal.
And that was also good footwork by number 23, Nashawn White. The ball almost went out of bounds. He was able to catch his foot and had 1 foot by the line, was able to save it and allowed a foul. Now they're in the bonus.
The bad part about that foul, as you just stated, now the Panthers are going to the free throw line on every foul. DeAndre Downing is at the line for the Panthers. This will be a 1-and-1 situation. First shot is up. That one goes in. The senior small forward knocked that one down very nicely. We'll see what he does here on the second free throw. That one is up. That one off the side of the rim. Rebound goes to the Aces. Trailing by 2. Bringing the ball up the court is Downing. Downing will pull this one back out. Got to work a little half court. And I mean, he was right there on the line. I mean, if he would have taken a little bit more of a step, that would have been a backcourt violation. Driving in the lane. And they're going to say it was a foul on the floor. As Keenan Downing has done a really good job driving and getting into the lane. So they're going to call this foul against the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, he's been slashing everywhere tonight, and they had no answer for that as well. But the only thing they could do was foul, and he's taking advantage of at the free throw line.
Now, Zadez Norman will pick up his third personal. That's going to send Keenan Downing to the free throw line. Coming in the game for the Aces also is Tyree Capehart. So Downing is at the line for the Aces. We'll see what he can do. 24 points on the night, but he's got to knock down some crucial free throws right here. First shot is up. That one goes in. That trims the Panther lead down to 1, and on this shot, this could tie it up with 1:12 to go in the game.
Hey, this looks a lot like the JV game from earlier. That one went down to the wire as well.
What a night it has been, and I tell you, earlier on, if you missed the girls contest, the varsity girls, the Aces defeated the Panthers 54-30. Second free throw is up and in. We're tied at 72 with 1:12 to go in the game. Quick substitutions in the game for the Aces coming in. It's Malachi White. So the Panthers will inbound this ball. A little full court pressure put on by the Aces. And they're going to fall back in their man defense. Bringing the ball up the court is Omar Harris between the circles. He's going up against Stanley. He'll drive in the lane, going down the right side. Pretty good shot put up. It's no good. Battle for the rebound is a jump ball. Possession arrow will stay with the Panthers on that jump ball. 55.8 seconds to go. We're tied at 72. The Panthers will inbound underneath their own basket. The Aces had a really good first half. The Panthers jumped out to a 14-point lead at one point in the second half. We're now tied at 72. We're going to get a timeout by Coach Woodley and the Aces. Your score with 55.8 to go. It's the Aces 72, the Panthers 72. You're listening to the high school game of the week on WRVS 89.9.
Hi, it's Rachel Martin with NPR's Morning Edition. As you've no doubt heard, listener support makes public radio possible. But here's something you may not have heard. Public radio stations around the country raise millions of dollars each year from the sale of donated vehicles. That's right, vehicles of all sorts. Whether they're running or not, they can be turned into support for public radio. That vehicle you no longer need, here's how to donate it to support this station.
Call 866-789-8627.
Make sure you join us for our next broadcast of high school basketball on your community voice on Tuesday. That's right, on Tuesday, next Tuesday, as the Camden County Bruins come to Perquimans to take on the Pirates. Game time is set for 7:30, and we'll bring you that game from start to finish here live from Hertford. But we got a barn burner here. Two of the top teams in the state are battling, and we're tied at 72 with 55.8 seconds to go. The Panthers inbounding from underneath their own basket. Clay Mercer here with Jarvis Riddick. Jarvis, has been a fun one, and that one bounces out of bounds, but I believe they're going to call a reach-in foul against the Aces off of that inbound. That was a quick reach-in foul. They're going to call that one against Malachi White. Now, that's going to be his third personal. And again, that's going to send the Panthers to the free throw line. Not really a foul you want if you're Coach Robert Woodley. I know he didn't want that foul as Rayner and Downing make their way back into the game. And the person that you foul, that's the tough part. You got Sadez Norman making his way back to the line. 62% free throw shooter, but he likes the bright lights. I mean, he likes the big moment, so he's at the line. We'll see if he can knock these down. First shot is up. That one goes in.
But to be honest, it might be deadly to foul anybody on this team right now because it seems like they all can shoot.
We're going to look back at that foul, and I think that's a crucial foul at the 55-second mark. So we'll see what happens here. Second shot goes up. That one goes in. He now has 20 on the night. And that'll make it 74-72 Panthers. The Aces have the ball. This is a big possession for Edenton. They're going to try to trap in the corner. They were able to get that ball out. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout off the ball. So as the play was happening, Coach Woodley wanted that timeout, and he got it. So I don't know if that was really a great time to call it, but they called it. And with 43.8 seconds to go, the Panthers lead the Aces 74-72. I think Coach Woodley called it because there was a trap here in the corner, and I guess before they got into any trouble, he called the timeout, but they were able to pass out of that. He didn't know it. He don't know the future, so he called the timeout. But it could be good to set your team up with a good play coming off of an inbound here with 43.8 seconds to go. Jarvis, has been a fun game. The Aces dominated really the first half until the last minute, and then the Panthers were able to take a lead into halftime. And the Panthers were able to extend that lead to about 14, biggest lead of the game. And now the Edenton Aces have been able to kind of fight back like they did in the first game, and they're only trailing by 2 with the ball.
And this is why I think the two teams respect each other, because, I mean, this is really the only team that I think that has a shot at beating Washington County. I mean, and I think they also played like this rivalry extended a lot also over the years. But it's been a good one. I've enjoyed every second of it.
Well, we have a little bit of time. We want to remind you to listen to our show Around the Town as your host, Dr. Hezekiah Brown, will sit down and speak with Superior Court Justice J.C. Cole. That show is coming up tomorrow at 6:30 here on WRVS 89.9. The Aces will have the ball. They'll inbound from the sideline near half court. They'll work a little half court offense against this zone 2-3 matchup zone by the Panthers. Stanley has it. He's in a lot of trouble. He's got to pass out of it. He does. They'll get the ball on the right corner. They're going to pull this ball back out. The Aces have got to find a way to get the ball to the basket. They finally do. Left-handed floater, no good. Rayner with a chance to get that ball. It'll go out of bounds off the Panthers. So the Aces will have it. Rayner was right there. He just couldn't hold on to it. The Panthers knocked that ball away. 20.9 seconds to go. And we're going to get a timeout by Coach Robert Woodley and the Aces. So we're going to take a timeout with them. Your score with 20.9 seconds. It's the Aces 72, the Panthers 74.
Hi, it's Rachel Martin with NPR's Morning Edition. As you've no doubt heard, listener support makes public radio possible. But here's something you may not have heard. Public radio stations around the country raise millions of dollars each year from the sale of donated vehicles. That's right, vehicles of all sorts. Whether they're running or not, they can be turned into support for public radio. That vehicle you no longer need, here's how to donate it to support this station.
Call 866-789-8627.
Thank you for joining us for the high school game of the week. 20.9 seconds to go. The Panthers leading the Aces 74-72. And listen, basketball fans, we love bringing you high school basketball here on WRVS 89.9, but we can't do that without donations from listeners like you. So when you take this time, we would love for you to make a donation in support of this radio station. Just text WRVS 899 to 41444 and keep high school athletics here on WRVS 89.9. The Aces will have the ball. They'll inbound underneath their own basket. 20.9 seconds to go. Stanley will have to inbound this one. He gets it inbound. They'll bring it to the top. Rayner has it on the right wing. Back to Stanley now on the right wing. He almost loses that ball. He gets in the lane. Right-handed layup is good. We're tied at 74. 10 seconds to go. The Panthers inbound. They'll bring it up the court. And before they can bring it past half court, Coach Lamont Gilliam will call a timeout. Stanley did a really good job with that, getting it into the lane. He was right in front of the cup. He put it off the backboard, and we're tied at 74. There's 7.5 seconds to go. We'll keep it here. Everybody in the building is standing right now because this is going to come down to the final shot, and I guarantee you the Panthers will hold for the last shot. If I'm Coach Lamont Gilliam and the Panthers, I'm getting the ball to Sadez Norman. He's been your guy. He's been your star. He's been that guy you put the ball in his hand, and he makes it happen for you. I'm giving him the ball right now. I'm clearing the area and letting him do what he does.
Yeah, the Aces have no choice but to foul. But then after that, did they go for the three, or did they try to send it to overtime, or what?
You've got a lot of players that you can give the ball to. I mean, this Panthers team is loaded. You've got Sadez Norman with 20 points. You've got Chesson with 15. You've got Omar Harris with 19. You've got players that can put the ball in the basket. The Aces are going to be prepared to put a lot of bodies on Norman. They're going to put a lot of pressure on him. But I still believe he's the one that's got to have the ball. He's going to inbound the ball, but I guarantee you they're going to do their best to get the ball back to him. So he's inbounding. 7.5 seconds to go. We're tied at 74. He finally gets it inbound. It's stolen by the Aces. They get it to Stanley. His layup is off. 2 seconds to go. The Panthers have it. Shot at the buzzer for the win. It's off the mark, and we're going into overtime here in Hartford. One big opportunity by the Aces. The layup, he couldn't put it in. The Panthers throw it down the court. Their jump shot is no good, and we're going into overtime. It's exactly what we want between two heavyweights in the state of North Carolina 1A ranking. We're going to take a break. When we return, we've got overtime here for Clemens County High School, tied at 74. You're listening to the High School Game of the Week on WRVS 89.9.
WRVS 89.9 needs the support from listeners like you to keep this radio station on the air. Consider making a tax-deductible donation online at ecsu.edu/WRVS. It's quick and easy to make a donation with your credit or debit card. It only takes a short time to keep us on the air for a long time. Support WRVS 89.9 today.
It's the high school game of the week on WRVS 89.9. We're in overtime here for Clemens County High School. The Panthers and the Aces tied at 74. Stanley had a chance to win it for the Aces. The Panthers had a jump shot at the buzzer, couldn't put it in, and we're at where we are right now. The Aces have come back from 14 down, and we're in overtime. Jump ball goes to the Aces. They'll have the ball, bringing it up the court. Shot is up, shot is in. They strike first. Keenan Downing puts it in, and that'll make it 76-74. The Aces strike, and for Downing, that's 26 points on the night.
We talk about Aces pride. Like, they really got their way back into this. The last time they had the lead was at the end of the second quarter.
The crowd is on their feet, driving in the lane. It's Cedez Norman. The Aces hold ground. They'll block that shot. Here they come, bringing it up the court. Stanley on the right side, no good, but the putback is up and in by Bobby Wilson. Big time shot by him. He scores his first two of the night. That'll make it 78-74.
Oh, I'm loving this game right now. I can't contain my excitement anymore. I'm punching the air after every made possession now.
I'm loving it, and everybody with this capacity crowd is loving it. Cedez Norman at the top. He'll drive and kick. 15-footer put up. That one's off. Rebound goes to the Aces, and they'll bring the ball up the court, going right to left on your radio dial. A big start for Coach Woodley and the Aces, and they lead this one by 4.
And if I were the Aces, I'd slow it down. You're up by 4, 3 minutes left, no shot clock. The game is in your hands.
Driving in the lane, that's a wild shot put up by Causton. They really needed to slow it down. And there's going to be a reach-in foul by Causton. Not only did he miss the shot, but he compounds that with a reach-in foul. And we're going to have a free throw here situation for Omar Harris. Didn't need that foul because now you're sending the Panthers to the free throw line. And these could be 2 easy shots for the Panthers. So a couple of difficult situations for the Aces right there by Causton. But regardless, now you got an opportunity for the Panthers at the line as Omar Harris has a chance to knock down 2.
And this is truly a nail-biter in this contest.
First shot is up. That one goes in for the first point of the overtime period for the Panthers. Unofficially 20 points on the night for Harris. His second shot is up. That one goes in. He now has 21 on the night. That'll make it 78-76 with 2:43 to go. The Aces will walk the ball up the court. Stanley has it. He's going to drive in the lane. It's off his foot, but the Aces hold on to it. Causton in a little bit of trouble. The pass is ball now driving in the lane. Right shot no good as Downing had a notion to put that up. It was blocked by the Panthers. Here they come down the court. 2:26 to go. Right-handed floater is in by DeAndre Downing. He gets his 10th point on the night, and we're tied at 78.
He looked calm when that floater there, just ignored all the contact and just get the easy 2 points.
With the ball on the left side, you can see the Panthers with this defense. They get it to Rayner at the free throw line. He turns around, wasn't looking for his shot. Back on the right side, now to Rayner in front of the rim. His left-handed shot is off. Battle for the rebound goes to the Panthers. They'll bring it up the court. Cedez Norman on the left side. He drives. His shot goes in. That'll make it 80-78. And we've got a hard injury here for Kemontae Rayner. Not only was he under the weather, but he goes down. This looks like a left ankle injury. He's still on the floor. So that's a hard injury right there for Rayner. He's still on the ground. We're going to take a quick timeout. A big-time shot by Cedez Norman. He now has 22 on the night. Your score with 1:50 to go. It's the Panthers 80, the Aces 78.
Hi, it's Rachel Martin with NPR's Morning Edition. As you've no doubt heard, listener support makes public radio possible. But here's something you may not have heard. Public radio stations around the country raise millions of dollars each year from the sale of donated vehicles. That's right, vehicles of all sorts. Whether they're running or not, they can be turned into support for public radio. That vehicle you no longer need, here's how to donate it to support this station.
Call 866-789-8627.
Cedez Norman with his shot puts the Panthers up to 80-78 with 1:50 to go. Had a little bit of an injury there to Kemontae Rayner, a little left ankle injury, but he seemed to have walked it off. Seemed like he walked off on his own accord, so that's good to see. As the Aces will have the ball, they'll bring it up the court, going right to left on your radio dial, and their clock continues to tick. The Aces down by 2. They're going to have to find someone to put the ball in the basket, so we'll see who they come up with. With the ball at the top of Keenan Downing, and before he drove in the lane, we're going to get a reach-in foul. That's going to be against Carmel Cheston. That'll be his second personal. So going to the free throw line for some major free throws will be Keenan Downing. And what a night he has had tonight. I mean, he's really been a big asset on the offensive end. 26 points on the night. And he's got a chance here to tie this game up at the line.
I think out of everything he's done so far, this might be the most important moment for him in this game.
First free throw goes up and in. Aces down by 1. What a game this has been. The number 1 team against the number 2 team in the Albemarle Athletic Conference. This is a big shot by Downing. His second shot is up. That one goes in. We're tied at 80. Coach Woodley calls a timeout. We're going to take it with them. 1:39 to go. We're tied at 80 live from Hertford.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Carolina high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association and the North Carolina Athletic Directors Association.
Keenan Downing knocks down 2 big free throws. He's got 26 on the night. We're tied at 80 with 1:39 to go in overtime. And what's been a battle of heavyweights. We expected this, and the crowd is loving it right now. The Panthers will have the ball. They're going to have to take it full court, going left to right. Full court pressure by the Aces. The Panthers get it inbound. The pass is back to Sadez Norman. Norman will bring it up the court between the circles. They'll take it over to the left side. He's going up against Colston. It's going to be an interesting matchup between them two. 1:28 and counting. Norman going between the legs. He'll pass it off. That one almost stolen away. They'll get it back now, trying to look in the corner now. 3-pointer fake by Harris. He drives in the lane, and his layup is good. 82-80, Panthers lead. 1:10 to go. The Aces bring the ball up the court. They'll bring it between the circles. Ball almost stolen away. You can't be loose with that one. They get it to Downing. Downing drives down the right side. His shot is up. That one rims off. Battle for the rebound goes to the Panthers. They're going to fast break, take it all the way up. And the two-handed jam is missed. It'll go out of bounds off the Panthers, and it'll go to the Aces.
Oh, I know he's sick right now. He could have went for the simple layup. He tried to be fancy and blew it.
Omar Harris wide open. Missed an easy two-handed jam. He's beating himself up over that. But the Panthers still have a 2-point lead. The Aces have got to score.
But what I do like the mental level of the Panthers, though. Even though he did all that, they're still keeping a cool head. Even the coaches being cool as well.
Strong move by Stanley. He couldn't put it in the basket. He tried to catch him off guard. It was a smart move, but he couldn't finish it. The Panthers come down with the rebound. They'll bring it up the court. 36 seconds to go, leading by 2. Norman has it. And Coach Woodley thought he traveled before that timeout. The Panthers will call it. So we're going to get a quick timeout here. 32.7 seconds to go. We're going to keep it right here. That was a big-time shot miss there by the Panthers. And Omar Harris, I think he just thought about it too much. It was too easy for him to put down that two-handed jam. He missed it, but somehow the Panthers are hanging on to a 2-point lead. It was a smart move by the Aces to drive down the lane. They were trying to catch the Panthers off guard with that transition offense, but he couldn't put the shot in. It was a smart move, but he couldn't finish it. So right now, Coach Gilliam talking to the Panthers. 80-82 is their score. The Panthers with this 2-point lead. Everybody standing in the building. There's really nobody seating. The only people sitting down is the people at the scores table. Jarvis, you're standing, I'm standing. We stood the entire game in what's been a great matchup between these two heavyweights. The Panthers will have the ball. They'll inbound it from the sideline. Pretty close to half court. But it's on their side of the court. So they'll get this one inbounds. It's Sadez Norman. 30 seconds to go. The Panthers don't have to score anymore to win this game. So the Aces have got to get up on it. Norman with it. Sadez Norman dribbling on the right side. 19 seconds to go. If you're the Aces, you can't let the clock tick down too much further. Norman now between the circles, hanging on to that ball. He's going to drive on the right, on the baseline, spin around. His shot no good. Battle for a rebound, goes to the Aces. He got 6 seconds. They're going to bring it up the court. He drives in. The floater is put in. Big shot by Keenan Downing to put it in. And that is the way we're going to end overtime. It is a double overtime game. What a shot by Keenan Downing. The crowd wanted to travel. The crowd wanted to travel. They're not going to get it. Keenan Downing drove in, put it in the basket, and we've got double overtime here in Hertford. So put 4 minutes on the clock, and Jarvis, unbelievable by Keenan Downing to get down the lane and put that in.
And to be honest, I don't think nobody in here is happier than me. We get to watch this for 4 more minutes, and I'm going to enjoy and savor every minute of this.
We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we're going to bring you double overtime here in Hertford, tied at 82.
WRVS 89.9 needs the support from listeners like you to keep this radio station on the air. Consider making a tax-deductible donation online at ecsu.edu/WRVS. It's quick and easy to make a donation with your credit or debit card. It only takes a short time to keep us on the air for a long time. Support WRVS 89.9 today.
It's the high school game of the week on WRVS 89.9. Clay Mercer here with Jarvis Riddick. Jarvis, go ahead and wipe that sweat off your forehead. It is double overtime here in Hertford, tied at 82 between the Washington County Panthers and the Aces of John A. Holmes. Rayner is back in the game. That is a big positive for the Aces as he went out with that left ankle injury. He's back out there in the jump circle, and the jump ball goes to the Panthers. They're going to try to fast break, and that shot is knocked out of bounds by Kemonte Rayner. As Chesson thought he had an easy layup, Rayner said, no, not tonight. 3:56, just starting double overtime. It'll go out of bounds. The Panthers will inbound underneath their own basket.
And my heart is thumping right now. I wonder how the players are feeling.
What a game we've got. It just adds on to the lure of this rivalry. Right-handed floater, shot no good by Downing. He gets his own offensive rebound. The referees are going to blow it dead, and I believe we're going to have a foul on the floor. This foul will be against Kemonte Rayner. Now, that's going to be his fourth personal.
What a game.
That's going to send the Panthers to the free throw line, and the one person you don't want at the line is Des Norman. Kemonte Rayner's really got to watch himself. He's got 4 fouls now. The 5th one, he's out of here. At the free throw line for the Panthers, it's Des Norman, 22 points on the night. His first free throw is up. That one is off. He's got ice water in his veins, but that free throw couldn't put it in the basket. We'll see what he does here on the second one. One thing about him, he'll stay confident, and he drains that second free throw. He'll go 1 or 2. That'll make it 83-82. Panthers lead with 3:44 to go in double overtime. Bringing the ball up the court on the left side is Keenan Downing, who has been really aggressive this entire game. He's directing the offense. Crossover dribble. He'll lose that ball. Somehow he jumps on the floor. Battle for it on the floor. Goes to the Panthers. A little loose with the ball. He lost that one on the drive, and the Panthers come away with it. So Des Norman has the ball between the circles. You got to believe he's going to be the man that controls the offense for this Panthers team down the stretch. He'll get a pick. Takes it over to the left side. He'll bring it back. Crossover dribble. Driving kick. They'll bring it now over now. Norman back in the corner. Step back. 3-pointer. No good. Rebound goes to the Aces.
I mean, we've had a good game tonight. I mean, even the elderly people are standing up for this one.
Ball almost stolen away. The Aces will hold on to it. That's a bad pass. That'll go out of bounds off the Aces. A couple of tough plays tonight by Joel Causton. Passes that really are unnecessary. It goes out of bounds and giving it back to the Panthers. So the Panthers will have it, bringing it up the left side is Chesson. He'll bring it between the circles. Man defense by the Aces. They'll get that ball to, actually that's a hard foul. They had to call that one. They had to call that foul. As he tried to make a pass, it was a pass from Chesson as he was trying to drop it off to Harris. And as he set that pick, they're going to call an offensive foul against the Panthers. That'll give it to the Aces. The crowd doesn't like that call. If you're a Panthers fan, you hate that call. But the Aces will have the ball back. Now, the referees are trying to make a decision here. And they're going to give it to the Aces. So the Aces will inbound. They got to get it inbounds. They finally do. With the ball, bringing it up the court is Keenan Downing. He gets it between the circles. He's going up against Omar Harris. He'll drop that ball off. With the ball now is Causton. 2:24 to go. Panthers lead by 1. They'll get it back to Keenan Downing. Back over to Causton. 3-pointer from the right wing. That one off. Rebound goes to Rayner. He'll pass it back to Downing. His jump shot. Long. Causton there for the rebound. It's no good. And it'll go out of bounds off the Panthers. Coach Robert Woodley and this Aces crowd wanted a foul on that putback. They didn't get it, but they'll have a chance to inbound it with 2:11 to go, trailing by 1. The Aces have it. Looking. They'll get it inbound. Bringing it back now to Keenan Downing. He'll pass it at the top to Causton. Causton going up right now against Omar Harris. He'll get it back to Keenan Downing. He'll get a pick from Harris. Driving down. That shot is blocked by Downing. Somehow Causton comes up with it. Drives down the lane. Shot no good. But the putback is in. by Keenan.
And they got the steal.
The Aces. They'll steal it off the inbound, and they lead by 1. Jarvis, they've done that throughout the game where they've stolen the ball off the inbound, and Coach Robert Woodley will call a timeout. They did it one time in the first half. They did it one time in the second half, and now in double overtime, they steal it off the inbounds, leading by 1.
Yeah, those are really quick hands right there. You got to be careful with those passes.
Jarvis Keenan Downing for the Aces of John A. Holmes has 30 points in this contest. He averages 15 points per game. He's doubled that average tonight, but he has been the man for them. He gets the ball. He's a controlling player for this team. He really controls the output for the offense, but he controls the tempo too, and he's done an outstanding job here tonight.
Yeah, he's put his heart, his blood, his sweat, and tears. He put everything out on the court tonight, and it doesn't look like he's going to let up until the final buzzer.
Not at all. We talked about whether these teams had the energy to continue on. We are in double overtime, and it seems like it's the first quarter. I mean, these players are really out here, and it shows you how athletic they are, and they're really in shape. You know, we're down here late in the season, and both of these teams are playing in a big-time matchup, and they're acting like this is a state championship game or a conference championship game. And essentially, it is a regular season a conference championship game, really, as the Panthers are hanging on undefeated. The Aces would love to put the first loss on them here tonight. 84-83. The Aces will inbound from the sideline, and they lead this one by 1. They'll inbound that ball to Carlson, who gets it to Keenan Downing. If you're the Aces, you want that ball in Downing's hands the rest of the way.
And then maybe during the break, Coach Woodley probably told him to slow it down. You got the lead. It's only a minute 30. There's no sense in doing anything stupid.
So we'll see what the Aces come up with here. The Panthers will drive. Downing down the lane. Left-handed floater is up and in. Big shot by Keenan Downing. He now has 32, and the Aces lead by 3. The Panthers have it. They'll shoot a three-pointer from the right wing. That one is off over the backboard as Chesson couldn't put it in, and that'll give it to the Aces with a minute and 13 to go.
And there was no need for them to force that three right there. I mean, they have plenty of shooters. I'm pretty sure they could have found a three-point play somewhere instead of them just taking that shot.
You can get a three-pointer at any time. I think he was coming down trying to knock down a big shot. Here come the Aces. Keenan Downing has it. Yo-yo dribble at the top. Crossover dribble. Driving down the left side. Takes it in. His layup rims off, but the Aces coming down with the offensive rebound. Good job by Stanley to be in the right place. He'll get it over to Carlson. Carlson, the Rainer, who gets it back to Stanley in the lane. He put it up, but the Panthers were right there. And they're going to call it, actually they're going to call that. He traveled with that one pretty much. And that'll give it back to the Panthers. Good defense by Washington County to get that ball back. Coach Woodley wanted his team to hold that ball. He really didn't want them to take that shot. You're leading by 3.
Yeah, that would have been a smart thing to do.
Instead, Chesson has it on the right wing. He'll shoot a 3 from the right wing, and it goes in. We're tied at 86 as a big-time shot by Cornell Chesson. He now has 18 on the night, and with 30.3 seconds to go, we're tied at 86. We're going to keep it right here. Jarvis, it was really a bad situation for the Aces as they were leading by 3, and they were continuing to drive in the lane and put up a shot. After that turnover, Coach Robert Woodley looked at his team and said, hold the ball. Let's run the clock down. Instead, the Panthers come away with it, and Chesson knocks down a major three-pointer after he missed a three-pointer earlier, and we're tied at 86.
Yeah, and this game really brought everybody close together, too. I'm seeing a lot of fans from Edenton and a lot of fans from Washington County. They're talking it up, they're laughing it up, talking about the game, and I'm loving what I'm seeing.
There's respect from both sides. The Aces and the Panthers have respect for both. But I tell you what, there's a reason for it. And we've got two talented teams, and Jarvis, I'm telling you, there's no question, regardless of the rankings, I don't care what the rankings are, these are two of the top teams in the entire state, and I expect both of these teams to go very far in the state tournament.
Because it hasn't even been that many teams in this whole region to even take it to Plymouth like the way the Edenton Aces have been doing.
Now you've got a situation where the Aces will have the ball, 30.3 seconds to go. Well, this is a big-time situation here for these teams, 30.3 to go. And we'll see what they come up with here. The Aces have got to inbound it. The Panthers will full court pressure. They'll get the ball inbounds to Costa. You got to believe the Panthers will drop back into man defense. 24 on the clock. We're tied at 86. Downing has the ball, and they're going to hold for the final shot. This is a smart move. Keenan Downing between the circles. He's going up against Harris.
And I suspect he'll probably drive, so at the best case scenario, he might get a foul.
Crossover dribble. He'll pull this one back out. and Coach Woodley will call a timeout with 8.4 seconds to go. We're going to take a timeout with them. 8.4 to go in double overtime. We're tied at 86 here in Hertford.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in North Carolina did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
It's the high school game of the week here from Clemens County High School, but it's not the Pirates that are playing. It's the Aces and the Panthers. We're tied at 86 with 8.4 seconds to go. Clay Mercer here with Jarvis Riddick. It is double overtime. It's been a knockdown, drag-out battle. And right now the Aces will have the ball, and they've got 8.4 seconds to go here to finish this one off. So right now the Panthers have done a good job. The Aces have done a good job. The Panthers have done a good job defensively too. I mean, we can't deny that. But the Aces will have to inbound this ball, and right now they're going to have somebody on the inbounder. So Des Norman is on the inbounder. The Aces have got to get it inbound. They get it to Rayner. He'll drop it to Stanley in the corner, who throws up a wild three. Shot is off. 3 seconds to go. Final shot from the left side. It goes in. Oh! It's over. Bobby Wilson drains a three-pointer at the buzzer. And your final here from Hertford, the Aces defeat the Panthers 89-86. What a shot at the buzzer by Bobby Wilson to drain it from the left wing, and everybody comes on the court. What a game here in double overtime. Your final score from Hertford, the Aces defeat the Panthers 89-86. Jarvis, they missed that first shot, and then the Aces were able to get it back. Bobby Wilson was wide open. He had no choice but to shoot the three, and he drains it from the left wing, and the Aces give the Panthers their first loss of the season.
I was joking about it earlier, but I'm dead serious this time. This wasn't the high school game of the week. This was the high school game of the season.
What a night. Bobby Wilson, only 5 points on the night. Jarvis on that shot, he reached his average. He averages about 5 points per game. He got his 5th point on that three-pointer, and the Aces, who persevered through this one, they were down by 14 at one point. They come back, and in double overtime, get a big-time win here. 89-86 is the final score. What a night here tonight. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we're going to have a conversation with the head coach of the Aces, Coach Robert Woodley. Again, your final score in double overtime, the Aces defeat the Panthers 89-86.
WRVS 89.9 needs the support from listeners like you to keep this radio station on the air. Consider making a tax-deductible donation online at ecsu.edu/WRVS. It's quick and easy to make a donation with your credit or debit card. It only takes a short time to keep us on the air for a long time. Support WRVS 89.9 today.
Back here from the high school game of the week from Hertford, your final score 89-86 in double overtime. The Aces defeat the Panthers. I have the head coach of the Aces, Coach Robert Woodley. You've got more sweat on you than I do, Coach. Outstanding contest, a wonderful atmosphere. Talk about your team and the way they persevered tonight to get this win.
Our kids played with a great amount of heart. Could have given up. Stayed. They believed. I told them we were going to take the last shot of this game and we're going to win it on the last shot of this game. Coach, and fortunately, I guess right.
Coach, your team played really well in the first half. Went into halftime with a 1-point deficit. Went down by 14 at one point. your team stuck with it. I mean, they stuck with the game plan. Keenan Downing, an outstanding game. Talk about what you told her. You took a timeout with about 8 seconds left here in double overtime. What did you tell the team when they came back out? What were your instructions to them?
Well, we had set the play to throw it to Keenan or in the corner or to KD in the corner and try to post Keenan on the block. And if he couldn't get it, we're going to slip Joel to the backside. But fortunately, we're able to get the ball to John, and it just came off the rim, and Bobby got his hands on it, and he knew what to do with it. I was proud of him for sticking it because that's a big shot for him.
Major shot for him, and he was able to drain it again. He had that last shot, and he knocked it in. Coach, we knew that we had two heavyweights on the court. We know both of these teams are very talented. This is what you expect when these two teams come together.
Absolutely.
You pull off the win. You give the Panthers their first loss. What does this do for the confidence of this team going into the rest of the going into the rest of the conference and then heading into the state tournament?
It should just give us a shot in the arm to play really well. We played better defensively today than we did, even though we gave up 80+. We scored 80+. I mean, but we didn't play very well against Camden defensively, even though we were fortunate to win the game on the last shot of the game. So this is 2 games in a row we've had the rabbit's foot. Hope we can keep that rabbit's foot in my pocket so we can continue to work hard and do what we need to do.
One of my favorite coaches, Coach Robert Woolley. Again, congratulations to you and the Aces. Get on in there and have a party with the team. I know they're feeling pretty good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's the head coach of the Aces of John A. Holmes, Coach Robert Woodley. And the Aces come out with a major victory here tonight, 89-86 in double overtime. Jarvis, I'm going to bring you back in. It's everything that we expected it to be and so much more. This was the game we've had circled. Not only the first game, but 18 days later, we bring you this contest. And it was everything we wanted and so much more.
Yeah, we waited, and they delivered. I mean, that was easily one of the best high school basketball games I've ever seen in my life with all the hype around it. I hear so many fans from Edenton. I love the support. Like, they could go all the way to California, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a whole bunch of Aces fans there. And I love it. And they finally proved that this team can be beaten. I mean, but don't get me wrong, though. The Washington County Panthers, they really went it out there. They brought it, and they took it to them. And they were like, if you're going to get this win, you're going to have to get out there and earn it. But I love everything I saw, and I'm just glad they really went out like that. They went out with a bang. I don't know how many times they may face each other again this season, but I'm glad we were here for it today.
The Panthers go down to 16-1 overall, 6-1 in the Albemarle Athletic Conference. The Aces move up to 20-1 overall, 6-1 in the Albemarle Athletic Conference. Big-time win. What it does is tie both of these teams at the top of the conference. And that's what it really was about. It was about the conference. We already know these are two of the best teams in the state in 1A rankings. But as far as the conference goes, you now have that tie at the top. These two teams, maybe they'll battle it out again in the conference tournament championship. We'll see. But this was a great game for the Washington County Panthers. They did everything they could here tonight. They played so well, especially in the second half. Kwamel Chesson knocked down some big three-pointers in this game. He had 18 points. Sadez Norman does what Sadez Norman always does, 22 points. He affected the game on both ends of the court. Omar Harris had 21 in the contest, and DeAndre Downing had 10 points in tonight's contest. For the winning Aces, their leading scorer tonight was Keenan Downing, 32 points in the night, and he was knocking them down from everywhere, but he was aggressive. He was driving the ball, doing everything he needed to do. Kemonte Rayner, he came in. He was a little under the weather, had a little bit of an ankle injury, but it didn't matter tonight. He finishes the game with 17 points, and he rebounded the ball so well. Gave his team a lot of second-chance opportunities, and Majante Stanley with 19 in tonight's contest. The Aces pull off a big-time win. Jarvis, any kind of final words before we head out of Hertford?
Man, ain't gonna lie, I still got butterflies in my stomach. I wonder how the players are feeling. I mean, but thank you for having me here today. I'm glad I got to see this game. Woo.
Unbelievable. Again, your final score from Hertford, the Aces defeat the Panthers in double overtime, 89-86. Make sure you join us for our next high school basketball game here on Your Community Voice, coming up next Tuesday as the Bruins of Camden County will come here to Hertford to take on the Pirates of Clemens County. Game time is set for 7:30, and we'll bring you that game from start to finish. For our producer in studio, Jalen, thank you so much for everything you do. Without you, we can't bring you high school basketball here on WRVS 89.9. So thank you to our producer, Jalen. For Jarvis Riddick, I'm Clay Mercer. We'll see you next time for high school basketball on WRVS 89.9.